too. It can be on the record, off the record. It can be on the record. I heard Bob Johnson said he's talking to the higher powers, I guess the government, about our reparations. And I guess the numbers that they come up with were about 3. His name is Saul, here in Ngozi, Northern Light Shopping Center. You want more than just a nice cut? Good conversation, good vibe, good music. Come see me at 3512 Cleveland Avenue.
The African Heritage Diet consists of 6 lessons. Lessons where we reach back to our African heritage to find culturally appropriate health and wellness practices that help us to move forward as a people that are whole in mind, body, and spirit. Lesson 1 is herbs and spices. Lesson 2 are greens. Greens is the widest part in the base of the African Heritage Diet food pyramid. So many greens should be consumed. And as you move up the pyramid, those are the things that you consume in lesser proportionate amounts. Whole grains, lesson 3. Beans and rice, lesson 4. Tubers and mashes, lesson 5. Lesson 6. Fruits, vegetables, and a healthy lifestyle.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times I must demonstrate excellence because I am a
women, but the most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero,
All right, let's get it. Tim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenyamejourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standing in the concrete of the mighty. You judge that most God. How long will you judge unjust and accept that person of the wicked? I say, sin was born of Baba. You judge us to the wicked and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on and daughter. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, your God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations. Allah Akbar.
This is Cabana Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Abdul Sheikh, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Abdul Sheikh, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy.
This is Molly, this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to Zach for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
Got a call on the line. Who on the line?
Shaka.
What's going on? About to get started.
Hey, I got these young women with me. They're twins. And they sing kind of interesting.
aka Mr. D. Mr. D, does it sound good? I think it sounds great. Right now, you listen to Gye-Nyame Radio.
I still got the intro music playing. Hold on. I'm about to go.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you're playing, you don't deserve to hear anything. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
3,
Shout out to Gye-Nyame Tribe,
2,
Gye-Nyame family.
1. All right, family, we are up. We are live. I know I played a little bit too much music for y'all, but I want to welcome y'all here tonight to Folktales for Grown Folks. Family, do we have a story to discuss tonight? Do some wisdom mining and get some wisdom up out of it so that we can go on and build. For those that don't know, those that don't understand, Folktales for Grown Folks is about us using ancient wisdom in these modern times, using ancient wisdom to win in these modern times, because our ancestors have already given us all that we need to succeed. All we got to do is be bold enough to do some wisdom mining, get down deep into these folk tales, these proverbs, these quotes, and look at the message that was there for us, that was designed for us. Are you willing to do the work? All right. So we got Brother Shaka on the line. He said he got some twin sisters out there. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're well. Thank you. How are you?
We're doing good. Thank you for asking. I'm doing, I'm struggling right now. I'm going to be honest. I'm struggling. I'm just trying to make it through. That's it. But, hey, we're going to do the show. Hey, it's on purpose. I'm struggling on purpose right now. I got parts of my body sore that I didn't know could be sore. But, hey, it is what it is. But, hey, we're about to make this transition, and we're going to pull out the book. But, matter of fact, before we even pull out the book, I'm going to pull out the book, and then we're going to go straight to the online version of this. But I like people to know that I still love books, even though I do a lot of work on digital and on the digital platforms, but I still keep books. And when I can get a book, I get my hand on a book. But, I got a limited space and stuff like that. So, I work the best way I can, right? A number of flies. The name of the story is The Flies and the Honey Pot. The Flies and the Honey Pot. A number of flies were attracted to a jar of honey which had been overturned in a housekeeper's room, and placing their feet in it, ate greedily. Their feet, however, became so smeared with the honey that they could not use their wings, nor release themselves, and were suffocated. Just as they were expiring, they exclaimed, "O foolish creatures that we are! For the sake of a little pleasure, we have destroyed ourselves." Okay, you awake, anime. Okay, all right. The moral of the story is pleasure bought with pains hurt. Pleasure brought with pains hurts. Oh my God. We got a good one there. We got a good one tonight. So we're going to go and we're going to go to the screen so the family out there that might be watching can also check out what's going on. We got The Flies and the Honey Pot. All right, we want to click to start skipping ads. Click to start skipping ads. Ad remover. No. All right. The ad remover was a damn ad. Wow. Okay. So we're going to go through a couple of versions, then we'll start the conversation. So here go one version, quick version. Those that know, I love this site. This site right here is called We Tested Safe. Okay, cool. View all block content. We tested this page and block content that comes from potentially dangerous, suspicious sites. Allow this content only if you are sure it's all right. We're gonna allow you to block it. All right, as long as you ain't blocked what I'm looking for. All right. Flies were attracted to a honey jar. They ate greedily, but their feet and wings got covered with the honey, so they could not get free. They died. Too much of a good thing can be bad. That's one of them. Here's another one. A number of flies were attracted to a jar of honey. They entered and ate greedily. While feeding, however, their feet and wings got covered with honey, and they could not get free and so died. Here's the one for children. Y'all can read that one yourself. But the moral for it, better yet, let's read it. We got time. A jar of honey was upset and sticky. Was upset, and the sticky sweetness flowed out on the table. The sweet smell of the honey soon brought a large number of flies buzzing around. They did not wait for an invitation. No, indeed. They settled right down, feet and all, to gorge themselves. The flies were quickly smeared from head to toe with honey. Their wings stuck together. They could not pull their feet out of the sticky mass, and so they died, giving their lives for the sake of the taste of sweetness. Moral: be not greedy for a little passing pleasure. It may destroy you. Ooh, where you at, anime? Where you at? Come on now. That was a good one. Oh, that was good. All right, we read the Towson version. Here's the less strange version, Wasp and the Honey Pot. All right, so, I like reading through because there are many different definitions of this folk, a folktale. So it was switched from one language to another. The word is not coming to me right now. Translated from one language to another. So we get a lot of different pictures if we look at all of them. There was a whole swarm of wasps got into a honey pot, and there they cloyed and clammed themselves till there was no getting out again, which brought them to understand in the conclusion that they had paid too dear for the sweet meats, for their sweet meats. More loose pleasure becomes necessary to us by the frequent use of them. Loose pleasures become necessary to us by the frequent use of them. And when they come once to be habitual, there is no getting clear again. Damn. I feel like Aesop trying to punch me in the stomach. All right, Shaka, you got anything you want to say about this? Anybody out there? We got any comments on the boards? Anybody out there got anything they want to say about this before I jump into it? Trying to give you an opportunity.
I'm just listening. I'm Shaka's friend.
Okay, how you doing, Shaka friend?
Well, you can call me Fox.
What's your name again?
Fox.
Fox?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Man, it's how appropriate. Did you just make that up because we doing Aesop Fables?
No, I write, and I used to be at a church, and the girl kept calling me Fox for some reason, and I didn't understand it, but it's cunning and swift, which is what I am, so I like it.
All right. I mean, I could dig it because in Aesop Fable, the fox is often used. Yeah, okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm like, all right, Fox. All right, so let's go and get it popping here. Shaka, you got any words you want to say before, because you already know how I get, man. I'm about to...
Hold on 2 seconds.
Oh, y'all sharing one phone?
Yeah, we all on the same phone right now.
They got cell phones. Give them the link. GNJmedia.live where they could call in. All right.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Well, now it's just me on this one. It's up to my ear.
All right, cool.
So my man Misha came up. I'm in the front yard. People just walking up into the conversation.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Cool. You got anything, or you want me to just go until we get somebody else up on this line?
I think once we get the folktale out, then
we just read the folktale. We read 4 of them.
You did all of them?
Yeah, man. I did all. Yeah, man. Oh man. Let me go. All right, family. This story is about greed. This story is about pleasure. This story, man. Listen.
Time out.
Go ahead.
One of the guests, she had a question.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second.
So I actually do love Aesop fables, but I also like mythological stories as well.
Oh yeah,
so
they good too.
That as a point of reference, or
I love myths. Myths.
Like Plato, like all that stuff. I love it. I grew up on Roman and Greek mythology.
Now, the all of those stories have lessons for us, and that's the key.
They do.
That's the key issue that we're trying to get, because a lot of people miss them. Because one of the reasons I call it folktales for grown folks is because as we start growing up, we start getting away from the stories, and we start thinking that the stories were just created for kids. But the myths and the stories were not created for kids originally. Although kids can use them, they were created to educate adults about the universe and about the world that they directly dealt with. Now, myths are a little bit different because myths deal with more universal concepts. Folktales deal with more of us being able to get along, rules of the society, wisdom,
Say it again.
Regional.
Right. It could be because they're kind of international. Let me put it this way: it does deal with the culture in specific cultures in a lot of cases, but a lot of the wisdom is like universal because it's certain things that all humans had to be able to do in order to survive. And these stories, like, hey, this story right here, you know what I'm saying? I can't think of a place where this story would not be applicable in the human world. You understand what I'm saying? So when we're looking at these, we're trying to look for not only the message for us, but the message for us as a group, the message for society. What can we pull up out of this, right? And so Shaka did I answer your question?
I'm sorry, to me or to Shaka?
Oh, you asked the question. Shaka didn't ask the question.
Yeah, I asked the question.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure I answered your question. So, family, like I said, this is our time.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but I appreciate you answering my question. I'll definitely be listening.
Oh, no problem. It ain't this is what this show is for. It's for conversation. It's for us to build. It's for us to learn together. Because one of the lessons that I got in my younger days was that you never know how what you see or what you say may affect somebody else. Somebody out there right now got a view of this story that may change somebody's life out there. So we got to look at it from all angles. So I'm gonna bring it from my perspective. You bring it from your perspective. Shaka bring it from his perspective. We could agree, we could disagree, we could go and have discussions, and that's the show. Very simple, right? So let's get it. All right. Shaka, is you ready to go, man, or what? Do I need to go on and do my whole thing, man? Do my whole spiel? Because
let's go ahead.
Once I get started.
Hold on.
So we about to get. Well, Shaka say, hold on, I don't know what's going on. But family,
he's grabbing a seat.
Oh, he's grabbing a seat. He owed. I understand. He owed.
All right. We all set now.
All right, cool. So now let's go back through the story. We're gonna go to. I usually use the Townsend version, but I love this site because they give you the story translated from many different angles. The one we mainly use here is Townsend because this is the one I got in the mail. All right? So we use the Townsend version. A number of flies were attracted to a jar of honey, which had been overturned in the housekeeper's room, and placing their feet in it, ate greedily. Their feet, however, became so smeared with the honey that they could not use their wings, nor release themselves, and were suffocated just as they were expiring. They exclaimed, "Oh, foolish creatures that we are! For the sake of a little pleasure, we have destroyed ourselves." Now, one of the things I want you to always notice is that when, in Aesop Fables, when Aesop was able to construct these stories using these animals because, I ain't going to say because, I like how he structured the stories because it don't necessarily call nobody out. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you can apply this anywhere. But the beauty of it is that when we experience animals or even people that are doing stupid things that lead to their demise, they always do a small reflection in the end. Oh, foolish creature that we are. For the sake of a little pleasure, we have destroyed ourselves. They become aware. And in a sense, in them becoming aware, it allows us to become aware. So now let's look at what they did. A number of flies were attracted to a jar of honey, which had been overturned in the housekeeper's room. So first off, these flies are tampering with something that is not theirs. You know what I'm saying? They're violating someone else's space, as flies often do. Right? Now, of course, we know that in a sense we're not talking about flies. Right? Hopefully a lot of us realize, that the flies are a stand-in for humans, or a stand-in some cases
for us, because I'm quite sure everybody in some form or fashion has experienced this story, whether you got caught being greedy in the cookie jar or whether you got caught being greedy at somebody's house you wasn't supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? In some form or fashion, this story touches home. This is why we did the thunder strike for this story, because this story is basic, but yet and still the lesson in it reaches through the ages. And not only can we see it in our own personal life, right? Overturned. Something was overturned, even though it's out of order, even though it's not the way it's supposed to be. You are not supposed.
Got a question over here.
Go ahead.
Hey, so this is Oracle, one of the twins. So one of the things, like, do you find it ironic that the honey pot was turned over in the housekeeper's room?
In what way? Well, I mean, yeah, because the housekeeper is supposed to keep the house neat. So it might have been a trap, but go ahead. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yep, that's what I mean by ironic. I find it very ironic the fact that she is tasked with he or she is tasked with the task of keeping it clean, but there is where they found
the honey. They found trouble.
Yeah.
So you bring up the point that in a sense, all things that look good may not be good. As one of these say, pleasure bought with pain hurts. So it's like, so you are bringing up the thought that possibly the honey wasn't spilled on accident. The honey was actually laid out as a trap to catch the honeys. I mean, to catch the flies, because of course we know flies in their nature may go for sweet things, just like with the story with the wasp. So, I mean, that's a beautiful point. She brought up the fact that this could have been a trap. And for many of us, we have to start learning how to recognize some traps, as good as they look and as sweet and pleasurable as they can be, they are still traps, whether set purposely or accidentally.
And we got the other twin that want to chime in.
So we got Fox and we got Oracle. Okay.
Oh, so I actually find it interesting because the honey is actually a form of currency as well.
Uh-oh.
Like it's a thing of value.
It is a thing of value.
But because she wasn't diligent about keeping, taking proper care of it, then that's what, even though it seems like it should be a good thing for everyone to have access to, when everyone had access to it because they didn't work for it, it brought about their demise.
Now, there's another proverb there's a proverb that says, if you want to kill a fool, give him a bag of money.
It's true. That's the funny thing. It's so true.
You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, these flies are proving the truth of that proverb. It was an opportunity there, whether it was on purpose or accidental. They took advantage of the moment. And many of us were told that, right? You got to take full advantage of the moment, not really looking and weighing out the situation, right? Because look, this is why I said it's important that we share our views on stories like this. Why? Because first off, it never occurred to me that this could have been laid out on purpose. And I think that was Oracle that said that, right? I want to thank you for that, because that might be the key wisdom for somebody out there. That might be a key thought for somebody out there, that oftentimes some things that might look like it was accidental may not be accidental. And we have a lot of people out here walking into it because they think that they are supposed to take advantage of every situation, every bad situation. As a matter of fact, a lot of con men work on the fact that in many of our natures, we will take advantage of someone in a bad situation.
Not only that, people will take advantage of someone wanting to feel some type of pleasure or relief.
Always. Always. Now, I ain't even hit on that one yet. You know what I'm saying? So these flies are out here in the world, minding their own business, supposedly, in somebody else's space, of course, and they notice the honey, and they automatically think that, ooh, this is an opportunity. This is a golden chance for me. Somebody else is on a black line. What's up, Brother Kwame? What's going on?
So, I believe it was Sister Oracle who pointed out the honeypot trap. Does that sound familiar?
Ooh, I heard that term. I heard that term before. Is that a real thing?
Absolutely. The honeypot trap is, excuse me, a lot of times, especially when looking at our political figures or our would-be leaders, the honeypot is where you send a fine woman and you get them in the fine woman would get whoever, or brother for that matter, who would get them in a compromising situation and thereby controlling them.
So now the honeypot trap. Oh man. Just when you thought you heard it all.
No, in our everyday language, we're told that there's three main ways that your enemy will try to compromise you. They will make threats against you. They will threaten your job. And threats are with money or the honeypot trap. They'll threaten your livelihood. And, of course, if that don't work, then they try for your life. The honeypot.
Fox had something she wanted to say.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah, so I do have a perspective thing that I am a black woman. But actually, when you talk about the honeypot, it reminds me of the Char Baby from Uncle Remus.
Ooh, and that is a version of that is definitely. Because if you think about it, the in that story, the Tar Baby was set up to catch the rabbit because the rabbit was doing wrong things. Now, but it kind of worked a little bit differently because the rabbit was greedy. Mm-hmm. And he did not want to share. I think it was he did not want to share what he had with the Tar Baby, so he attacked it. So yeah, it's the same concept. We see these same lessons going from culture to culture, right? You know what I'm saying? So this one works. This one is working. It's like it's catching them because they're sneaking in. The other one is working because the other one was greedy and didn't want to have nobody else around his stuff.
So, Hytem, just to clarify, the story of the Tar Baby was that it was more along the story of being so arrogant and feeling like he was owed something. He deserved something. Because he didn't realize that he was talking to a Tar Baby who was set up as a trap. So what happened was the more he fought the Tar Baby, the more he got stuck.
The more he fought, the more he got stuck. Honeypot. Wow. So, go ahead.
So, but there is another allegory I would make an allusion to, and that is with the story of the sirens. The sirens, their voices were so sweet.
That's right.
Like honey, that they drew men in. And when they drew them in, they could never leave. They got stuck.
No, they got more than stuck.
They got destroyed. Killed. Right, they was killed. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's another way of looking at
it. Using these euphemisms to cover up.
Like, they got stuck. Hey, no, they was dead. They was, siren food.
Well, if you're dead, you're stuck, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going nowhere.
But that's why it's appropriately called the honey trap, because you can use all kinds of euphemisms to lure somebody to their death.
That is very true.
And basically, I mean, this is what happened because even because that's one of those Brer Rabbit tales where he wasn't able to get up out of that one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So with the Tar Baby one, he was lured to his death. But we know Brer Rabbit never really dies. But he was kind of messed up in that one. He wasn't gonna get out of that one. As a matter of fact, but let's keep it moving. So we know about the trap. The trap is being laid, whether purposely or accidentally. We know that in some form or fashion, this is not going to work to the benefit of the flies, or the sailors, or the or the rabbit, because it is there, and all this stuff is taking place, in a sense, in other people's property, in places that you should not go, in places where you should have had some sense of, I need to be very, very cautious about this area. So when they got into there, it talks about their feet, however, becoming so smeared with the honey because they enjoying themselves. They don't even notice this. See, sometimes we get so caught up in what we doing, so caught up in the feeling of it, so caught up in the joy of it, so caught up in the pleasure of it, that we don't even notice that death is creeping up on us, that disaster is creeping up on us, that blackmail or white male, however you want to say it, is creeping up on you, right? And it got to such a point that they were so enjoying themselves that not only could they not move their feet, they couldn't even flap their wings. I mean, they was having a good time. And eventually, from all the joy that they was having, they ended up dying. They were suffocated. They were dying because suffocation don't happen all of a sudden. At some point in time, one of the flies, if flies cough, one of them had to have some type of reaction letting the other ones know that this wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? It came on them, and they were so involved in the feelings that their mind totally stopped moving. And they got caught up in the good feeling, which is a warning to us that in everything we do, we need to maintain a certain amount of consciousness. Because the flies went straight beast mode, for lack of a better word, straight fly mode. They went straight into the fly mode. Because we know that in this story, all these animals have a certain level of intelligence. Because if they did not have any intelligence at all, there would be no way they will be able to do self-reflection, as all of these animals in Aesop fables do. Their feet, however, became so smeared with the honey that they could not use their wings nor release themselves, and they ended up being suffocated. Just as they were expiring. And this is the piece what we need to do ahead of time, because these stories, go ahead.
Hey, this is Sister Oracle. So one of the things I would like for us to look at is the vantage point of the flies, because there might have been something that they were going through, whether it was poverty, and we know that poverty is
Ooh.
So it may have drawn them to that because they were in a dry place. They saw something.
Oh, I got something to add to that.
Go ahead, Doctor. Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's like this, right? It's basically like all right, so look. The honey is the stimulus.
Stimulus check.
All right? The stimulus check is the honey. So you got all these people buying all kind of microphones. They ain't even singers for real. You got these people buying all kind of devices. They don't even know the learning curve for the devices they buy, right? They buy all this stuff that they regularly wouldn't get, and then when the lights turn on, they go back to, they done forgot, man, they had enough money in that period to fix their credit, to stack their cap, and ain't none of that go down like that because of a behavior. We just flapping our wings and all this honey.
But now take it back to what she said. See, because she brought up she brought up something that affects black life all the time. See, because she said, take it from the vantage point of the fly, which I must slap myself because we are supposed to do that, right? The fly, she said, what was the fly going through that would cause them to throw caution to the wind? What if they came out of a drought? Right? Now, but even in that even coming out these bad situations, we still have to realize that this could possibly be a trap, whether it is a trap on purpose or whether it's a trap on accident. You know what I'm saying? Because now check this out. Why did the flies have to get all the way in the honey?
Have you ever been in a little bit of honey?
Yeah.
If you ever been in a little bit of honey, you're going to automatically slide in some more honey, Hatim.
No, if it's laid out.
How you think all those kids got here? You done slid in some honey.
I wasn't sliding, my brother. I was caught. You know, sliding and caught. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then.
But
Oh, my God.
There was a way for them to consume the honey without immersing their whole bodies into it, man.
Was there now?
I'm assuming.
No,
Let's ask the question.
See, that's the part. That's the part right there. That's
Go
the
ahead.
part right there.
Go ahead.
'Cause that's how the system get us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean you don't deserve to pay this child support? You had sex with her, didn't you? I only had a little bit of. There was just a little. I don't even know if did I put the whole thing. You must have. You slipped in a whole bunch of honey, my friend. Okay, that's all I had to say about that.
I'm just saying, man. There's a way. I believe there was a way that they could have got some of that honey without totally getting immersed. You know, but I mean, coming from the poverty piece, looking at it from the fly stance, you know what I'm saying?
So yes, if they had the knowledge to get the honey without getting
There
sick,
you go.
They didn't have the knowledge. And even if they did, if they were coming from a dry place, when they saw it looked so good and amazing to them, that they were just going to dive in because they didn't know when they were going to get the honey again.
But that's still, now, because that goes back to the concept of the principle, or not even the principle, but greed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, boom, I am hungry. But, you know, I'm like this. You can be hungry and still be in control of yourself.
But if you're coming from a dry place where you're starving, you want to get as much as you can because you don't know when you're going to get it again.
I understand. But I'm just saying, could you not get just as much? Because the honey on your body is not going into your belly. But you said you got to have the knowledge. You got to have the knowledge for that. And maybe, like I said, I've never been in a situation where I have been forced not to be able to eat. I have not been in a situation like that. So maybe all logic goes out the door when you see that there. But the great thing for us, if any of us run into this story, hopefully this story will pop. We will end up in a situation. Hopefully this story will pop up in our head, because it's like, what's going on here?
That's true. This is definitely a very good story.
Oh man, see, and a lot of these stories, man. Like I said, you run into them in real life. Like I said, you just connected this whole story to the situation we are living in here in America. When you just by flipping it like that, I would have missed the whole thing. I would have just kept on going on what I was going on, and would have missed that whole thing. But you brought it to a point to where now we could kind of understand some of the choices that black men and women all over this country are making, that people in poverty are making all over this country, because they're coming from a drought.
You know what I'm saying? While the stimulus, like as Shaka says, while the stimulus is out there, you know what I'm saying? I might not never get this again. Let me go and spend it up. The bills is going to be there. They ain't going nowhere. But that new mic, man, oh. I got dreams for that mic. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because now with those people that went out and bought mics and stuff, I kind of understand that, especially if they doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I had my mic before the stimulus, my friend. Yeah. Just in case shots was fired, I had the mic before that. So, you know, I bought some different shit with the stimulus, right? With, you know what I'm saying? But then the moment of self-reflection. Oh, foolish creatures that we are, for the sake of a little pleasure, we have destroyed ourselves. And I can't help but to think about some of my friends that were flies, and put into situations or found themselves in situations like this. Tried to stuff themselves too much and could not escape. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, the flies were planning to get in and get out. As we often hear, I was planning to get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? But it don't work like that. We have to kind of, like I said, we have to pass these stories on to our young people and have discussions like this so that we could, you know, so that when they are in a situation, you be like, damn, a fly. Oh, fly, hold on. But we don't have these topics. Go ahead.
But no, and I completely understand, and I agree that this is like, there is a story that we have to pass along, and there's a narrative that we have to pass along to our youth, not just because, like, it's parables and it's stuff that can make them more intelligent, but also this is how our history is going to be passed out.
Exactly.
If we didn't have this oratorical conversation, then our history of our ancestors, of us, will be lost completely.
There you go.
And just because, like, our story is different than the story of our ancestors. Right now, you know, we're dealing with police brutality and things of that nature, but we still have to tell that story as well. We have to tell that story to our children.
We sure do.
Unfortunately, like, it's sad that we have to have this conversation with our children, but it's very necessary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
My friend told me he told his daughter that, you know, if he was shot or murdered by the police, let him know that I wasn't scared. And that's very true. We have to pass that along, that even though we know that we were in the crosshairs and there was a possibility that we could be murdered simply because of the color of our skin, that no, we weren't scared. We have to pass along that story because it's important, because that's how we're going to build up our youth as well.
That's right. Man, this was a great show, man. Thank you, Oracle and Fox, and of course the magnificent Shaka and the Black Yoda himself decided to pay us a visit. The Black Yoda himself, Brother Kwame, came in and chilled with us as well, man. But listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all up because I'm struggling with this fast, so I'm about to go and lay it down. I've been on it. I'm day 9. Day 9. So but we about to. You say who?
How long you going?
21 days. You know, this time of year I do 21 days. So I'm on day 9 right now.
Just you know, when it's over, don't get stuck in no honey.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, you know, I'm learning to resist the honey right now. I'm walking past the honey every day now. I'm like, shit. But you look, I had a fantasy about my son making some, my son makes some bomb-ass ramen noodles. I'm like sitting up here like, ramen noodles. But nah, I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to something. We building something of power here. Anybody got any other comments? Because there's some other people coming on. Sister Tara Hassa says, it's a good show. Well, call in and join the conversation. We keep it going. We ain't got to stop. Because like I said, family, y'all are my energy at this point in time. I'm
I
lit.
dare Tara Hassa to call in right now.
She's scared. She ain't gonna call
I
in.
dare you.
She's scared. She ain't gonna do it. She probably already hung up. Look, she
Okay.
She turned it out right. 614-556-4535. Once again, the number is 614-556-4535. Come join the two young wise women sitting over there with Brother Shaka and the old man on the internet right here, right now on Gye-Nyame Journey Media Live, GNJmedia.live, GNJmedia.live. And don't forget to support, family. We always need to support. You go to GNJmedia.support, and, you could go and support us for $10 a month, especially those, uh-oh.
I have to go. I have to go because it's reverbing.
Okay, somebody just called in.
Yeah, it's Fox.
Oh, what's up? You got something else you want to say, baby?
No, I realize that I am new to this group, but I would definitely love the opportunity to present something as well.
Okay.
Because I believe in storytelling. It's always been something that I've aspired to do. It's just that I never found the proper realm to do it in, and I never really had the confidence. But storytelling has always been my aspiration, and I feel like Shaka, my homie who I just met yesterday, I feel like everything is happening for a reason, and the universe is collaborating in our favor.
All right. Well, hey, Shaka's my brother, and like I said, if y'all want to hook up a show, he got some of the equipment.
Definitely.
He got the type of equipment over there to do it, and if not, I could figure out how to get you to do it over your phone. And if you wanted to do guests, you could do that as well. So I mean, because we are the media. We're building up the media so that we got, like, once again, so we could pass on the stories, because the stories, in a sense, represent our space and our time. You understand what I'm saying? And when people lose their stories, they lose themselves. They no longer exist. But go, I'm sorry.
Oh, and I definitely believe in that, but I also believe that our narrative has been hijacked.
Yes, it has. Oh, yes, it has. By who?
Hijacked a false manufactured narrative.
Ooh.
And I can definitely be the type of person who's be bumping Savage, but I'm also the type of person who is going to be listening to Lenny Kravitz, who's reading Audre Lorde, who feels really connected to Zora Neale Hurston. Like, I can traverse all sorts of ideology, but I know the root and the core of who I am is what I learned from my grandparents and their oral traditions. And it's really important because I don't think those things are talked about enough, especially because I did grow up in the church, but I'm not a believer now. But I just think there's a different way to do things. I'm in a weird place right now. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I do have a lot of health issues right now. And, of course, health issues translates to having problems with finances and my job. But I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, even though I just went to bed at 12:30. And I went for a walk because I love nature. And I live close to Shaka. It's a beautiful neighborhood. But I still listen to gospel music. But I listen to it as me being my God and me being the person who can manifest things. And so I was thinking about just how much I connect to gospel music, but also the musicality of it, because it's not a seed of creation. And I said, I just wish that I had been taught to believe in myself with the same fierce devotion that I was taught to believe in God. Because I'm 42 and I'm still realizing who I am in my own entity and how I can manifest change. Because being black is about being indebted to someone else. Being black is being enslaved. And I'm just not about that life, and it's really not popular. I consider myself an atheist, which may not be the best term, but it really kind of encompasses my understanding of things right now. And I do have a better understanding of the Bible than a lot of Christians do because I actually read it and studied it.
Right.
I feel like I'm talking too much. I'm sorry because I'm monopolizing things. And I'm really just trying to
no,
learn right now
no.
because I really appreciate being here right now.
Listen, you sound like you found your home. You need to really check this
I found my tribe.
Right, there you go.
Like, I just met Shaka yesterday, and I said, and I am really sincere. I'm not the type of person who claims everybody's my friend. My circle is very, very tight. But when I met him yesterday, and I went back home, and I said, this is my friend. And I don't know if he believed me when I said, I'm going to be back. I got his number, and I texted him today, and I'm like, yeah, what you doing? He's playing some tunes because I really appreciated the level. We have a dialogue and we have a language that we speak in.
Right.
That we don't even have to be talking for it to be communicated. He was just playing music. I wasn't bothering him. He wasn't bothering me. We just coexisted together peacefully. And that is not something that I'm used to. Because the minute I walked off his steps, I had a guy following me in my face and I had to come to back up. And then so because I have a thing about being followed because I have been followed before, but I knew that I could go back to my sanctuary, and that would be Shaka's place. And I told him what happened, and I just sat down, and we just chilled the fuck out. And I was like, this is my people. This is my tribe. Like, and then we talked more, and we dialogued. I'm like, this is what I need in my life. Like, he's cultivating the things that I want to achieve. Because you do need people in your life that are going to hold you accountable.
Uh-oh.
He's definitely one of those type of people. And he's also very intellectual. And it's not cool to be intellectual in this day and age. People want to be savage, you know? They want to do all sorts of other things, but do anything that is really going to benefit and grow the community. And I understand that because I've been made fun of my entire life because I am educated, because I like to read. People say that I talk white. I don't talk white. I talk like someone who's very, very well read. And because my grandparents were part of the civil rights movement, and my grandmother had actually went to college. She had a teacher's certificate, but because she was a black woman, she had to be a housekeeper. So I don't take any of those things for granted. And black people have definitely been the hardest on me, but I welcome that adversity because it's got me to a place that other people don't have in their life. Like, I just vibe with me. I accept myself. I love myself. I don't need anyone to validate me. I don't have to be a part of the church. I don't need anyone to say, oh my God, you're beautiful. I don't need any of that. I just need to find people that I connect with on a visceral level, which is very difficult to find, but I found it right now with you guys. I don't really talk a lot, but I'm sitting up here vibing. I'm having a good time tonight.
Question for you.
Go ahead.
Who found Shaka first, you or your sister?
I did, so I'm Fox. And what happened was I was having some digestive issues because I'm battling some very, very serious health issues. And so
he hooked you with that ambrosia. Go ahead.
So I believe in of course Black Power. I believe in the Black National Flag. I believe in Marcus Garvey, the Black Starship, all of that, the Harlem Renaissance, the Black Power movement, the Civil Rights movement, and also just the way the artists projected themselves during the different political movements. And so I saw the red, black, and the green. And so I was walking in one direction, and then I came back, and he was out there. He's playing this amazing music, and I love music. It's the core of who I am. And I see the colors, and I was just like, hey, can I just ask you a question? And we just started conversing, and I said, so what's the artist in you? He started talking about his probiotics, and I was actually on the, I was looking for some laxatives because I'm having digestive issues, and he made me a batch of probiotics. And I just felt really comfortable in that space with him, and I don't feel that comfortable with anyone ever upon first meeting, especially not men. And so as I'm leaving, a guy is following me, and I just feel uncomfortable. I have to tell him to, like, stay 6 feet away from me. He's not listening to the fact that I'm really not interested in what I'm saying. And I just walked back to Shaka's house, and I said, hey, I'm feeling kind of unsafe. This is what happened. He said, that guy saw you? Like, yeah. And I just sat there. He didn't bother me, and I didn't feel like he would have bothered me. Like, but it was just such a nice space to be in where we didn't have to feel like we entertained each other. Like,
right.
It was just safe. It was sanctuary for me.
Right. You was home. It's called being home.
Yeah, and I told my sister because I do need adult supervision right now because of the things that I'm going through. But I'm like, I don't need adult supervision with him. And I was like, I want my twin to meet him because I feel like we could all learn from each other. And within 5 minutes, she was acting like family. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this experience.
So he should tell you about our show we do in the morning. We got a show called The Daily Toast, where we get up and we
5
toast.
o'clock.
Huh?
And that's the thing. So for the past 2 days, I've been up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
Oh no,
I
well,
can definitely do that.
well, yeah, but check it out. Because I'm on vacation and I'm fasting, I ain't up at 5 no more. So, but we will get back to that. We usually do about 5:15, between 5:15 and 6:15 in the morning. But during this week right here, it's not that early. So you just gotta you just gotta go on and click that bell on whether you listening to us on Facebook or we are on Facebook,
is it for me.
YouTube, D Live, Twitch. We just got back on Periscope. What else? Something else. I got a whole bunch of them. But anyway.
I really don't do a lot of social media.
Okay.
Because it actually helps my mental well-being to not be on it. But I feel like actually YouTube, because I can monitor my content more. So I'll definitely sign up there to get the notifications.
It's Gye-Nyame Journey, Gye-Nyame Journey Media, either Gye-Nyame Journey or Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Feel free to check us out. I mean, me and Shaka been doing this for years. So we've been doing this for years. Go and check us out. Like I said, because he hooked you up with, I call it ambrosia. I don't remember, Shaka called it, June. He hooked you up with the June, right? Yeah, so, I mean, we family. We've been doing the same thing. We've been doing these things for years, so I'm glad. Welcome to the tribe.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to meeting you as well as your sister.
Definitely.
One of the things where whether I have to come up there or Shaka have to come down here, we got some type of festival or something going, and you can meet because you got kind of a large tribe, girl, that you know what I'm saying. Unfortunately, you just not running into, man. But you know what I'm saying. This is why we broadcast. This is why we do the media piece, because we have pieces of ourselves floating out there, and there's a lot of people who feel like they're lost and feel like they can't be understood, that are looking for a home. And we've been building tribe for shit. I mean, I've known Shaka for over 20 years now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
From back at Ohio State. So shit, I started Ohio State in 1987.
Okay.
Shit, I probably met Shaka in 93, 94, because he a little bit younger than me. So by the time he got there, you know, I did all my running and it was
all
working.
right.
Huh?
I have one more thing to say, because I feel like I've been talking too much. But as far as the media component, like, people don't realize the pervasiveness of institutions. They are meant to socialize and to dominate.
That's
the
right.
Church is an institution. Education is an institution. So we really need to reclaim the voice that is ours, especially through the media, because that is the thing that is most accessible to us. But when you look at the fact that a lot of the people, the popular Black artists, are actually being purchased by, white people.
Say it again.
You kind of really need to look at the messenger.
There you go.
And the message. Because I know that hip hop started as a political movement.
That's right.
We
That's
did
right.
have, was it the Black Poets? Because I heard them speaking.
Black
before,
Poets,
but yeah.
right.
And the
Now-
Harlem, and just like everybody from Harlem Renaissance and the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Arts Movement. When Leroy Jones went to being Amiri Baraka, like, our history runs deep, but we've allowed it to get whitewashed.
Right.
And to chase money goals.
There
And
you
it's
go.
not edifying to us. And that is what I'm going to stop talking now, because it's late at night.
Now-
I'm just looking forward to continuing this conversation.
Now check this
I really
out.
appreciate you for giving me space to talk, though.
Check this out. Now think
Mhm,
about
I'm listening.
if you want to do a show, you need to go and sit down and talk with. You need to talk with Shaka, and we can make that happen.
He's my
We'll
neighbor.
make
I
that
got
happen.
his number.
All
We
right.
homies. We family.
All right. So we can make that happen. So, because like I said,
Definitely.
I do folk tales for grown folks. Because we need to go deeper. Because like you said, you asked the question: do you do myths? Do you do? No, right now we've been going through the folk tales. We've been going through Aesop fables, but there's a whole lot of other different things going on that could be mixed with modern media, like what you was talking about, far as our artists selling us out, selling our story out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people are thinking, but they don't have the words for it. What we do as a media tribe, we give people the words, the lingos that they can use to communicate the ideas that's been sitting on their souls for a long time, but they haven't had the words to speak it. They know something is wrong, but they haven't been able to put it together. And it's our job to reclaim the narrative and start telling the story in our way, with our passion, driven by us.
And I'm definitely down for it. I'm up for the cause. It's what we need right now.
Yes, ma'am. So,
but I thank you for the opportunity of allowing me to speak with you.
No problem. So,
all right, you have a good night. And be
too.
careful with your fast. Like, if you start feeling off or anything, I don't want you to die over this. Just make sure you're paying attention to your body. You can modify it. I know you've probably done this for years.
Yeah, I was just about to say that this is the fourth year. So I've been feeling wheezy and all that. Been yelling and shit, been mad, and then I would have bursts of energy and stuff like that. And this is once again, is for the tribe. You know what I'm saying? And set the example. Like you said, you pray with me while I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm doing is called the 21-day Nguzo Saba Challenge. We use Nguzo Saba very heavily. Like, for example, today for us is Kuji Chagalia. It's not Tuesday. It's Kuji Chagalia. So we started claiming
a Kwanzaa principle.
Exactly. So it's 7 principles. It's 7 days. So rather than looking for these Greek and these Greek and I can't remember them. Thor, Roman, Greek, and the seafarers, the Vikings. I can't remember what they call them. The who?
Nordic.
The Nordic. Rather than rather than calling out those days for them, we're calling out the days for our principles, claiming our narrative. So the day is Kuji Chagalia for us. So what I do is we got a 21-day, I guess I call it a ceremony, where you could use the 21 days to kind of change a habit, to work on changing something that you want. For me, I choose.
Okay, so it's not really about deprivation. It's really about growing your calling. Okay,
exactly.
So I'm glad that we have that understanding, because when I was in the church, it was all about deprivation.
Oh yeah, because you got
to about cultivating your dedication and your dependency on God, and then giving all these faith offers. Okay, I'm not going to go into it right now, but I will definitely be talking to you. I really appreciated this conversation with you.
No problem. So family, I want to thank those that are tuning in now and those that are tuning in later. Make sure you stay up with G&J Media, because once again, as you see, the tribe is growing. Brother Shaka is doing his thing up in Cleveland. The tribe is going to be growing up there. So eventually we're going to have to link up and do some type of ceremony, you know what I'm saying? A cultural stabilizing celebration, right? With food and everything. So, we got the music. Something's gonna happen. Trust me, because it's moving. Let me tell you what happened to me today. So y'all know I'm bringing out the Baba's next book. The Baba's has blessed me, allowed me to bring out his next book. So I'm bringing it out. It's called The Genius of Africans United. It's a book full of positive affirmations. So I developed a little commercial for it. I'm sharing the commercial over Facebook. I'm trying to share it on my messenger, but then they start blocking my messages and stuff like that. All right, cool. I said, fuck it, let me go get an ad. So I go and get an ad. I set the ad up. Now, what I got my children reading this poem. It's called I Am a Genius. They took the paper because I told them if they memorize it, that I would give them a certain amount. But it started off, I am a genius. So they're reading this poem. So I got it broken down into 4 parts. showing the generational effect of this poem, because I heard it when I was younger. So now I got my kids learning the poem, right? So I got my youngest reading first. I got my second youngest reading it. Then I got my third youngest reading it, and his voice is turning like a man. And then finally, in the final transition, I read the final stanza, and then we all read the final line together, right? That's it. I put the ad up on Facebook. They denied to play my ad. I said, what? You know, and it was like, they said it might be, in a sense, might be, I didn't even understand it, but it seemed like they were saying to me, because I could be wrong, that it might be offensive to other people. You know what I'm saying? Saying stuff like, I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. I come from genius. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting up here like, good grief. Cleve, you got the paper over there so I can read the poem? Of course not. You'd already got thrown away. But anyway, you don't even want that money. That's cool. I understand. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if we don't start taking control of our narrative and start building the mechanisms to get our stories out, they will never get out. They don't want you, or, you know, let me say, this world does not desire for you or want for you to become the greater you. Because when you become the greater you, you become less dependent on theirs and become more dependent on ours. And what I'm trying to do, and what Shaka is trying to do, and what other people in our tribe is trying to do, is to get people to start recognizing the greatness within themselves so that they can move forward. Now, I eventually got the commercial put up. You know what I'm saying? But I had to go on and have in a sense, I had to do, when they said they denied it, they gave me an opportunity to challenge that. So I challenged that shit. But I shouldn't have had to challenge about something as affirming and as powerful and as positive as that was. But anyway, family, this is Brother Hatim. I want to thank, once again, I want to thank Fox. I want to thank Oracle. I want to thank Brother Shaka. I want to thank the Black Yoda, right? And I want to thank all of you that's listening live and those that will catch this later. Make sure you like and share. Make sure you click the notifications regardless of where you're listening, right? And don't be scared to have conversations with me. I'm not going to bite you. I swear to God. You could put it up on the screen. We can have conversations. And as a matter of fact, the more of y'all that are in a conversation, the more we keep the crazy bullshit that people want to do out. All right? So, family, remember, I will see you tomorrow morning. I ain't going to say early morning. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning because the next phase of my 21-day challenge starts. So we going 3 days dry. 3 days dry. Because I'm going to show y'all, family, I'm going to show y'all that it can be done. Right? So if I do small impossible things, maybe I'll inspire you to do small impossible things. And then when we come together, we'll do big impossible things. This is Brother Hatim. Thank you for joining us on the journey. And before you go on and check this out.
To have melanin embedded in our skin is a gift. Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black? Too strong? Yeah. We were born to be great. Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black. You were born to be great.
All right, family, this is the workout video for those on Spreaker because there's no pictures. Well, I'm still working on getting the ones with the sound. So, soon as Sister Roni get with me, maybe I might be able to take this video and put some sound on it.
Ayimbobe is an acronym. Mind, Body, and Universal Balance Empowerment Institute. It is also Zulu. It means lion, of course. With that, we're working with resiliency. We're working with trauma-informed care. With all of the mind-body connections that we need to not only address so many of our ills, but also to heal from them. There's no one giant step that does it. It's a lot of little steps. Author unknown. How do you regulate? Yoga, meditation, and Bube. Mind, body, universal balance, empowerment. We're waiting for you. How do you regulate?
Question too. It
Go
can
ahead.
be on the record, off the record. It can be on the record. I heard Bob Johnson said he's talking to the higher powers, I guess the government, about our reparations. And I guess the numbers that they come up with were about 3. His name is Saul here in Ngozi, Northern Light Shopping Center. You want more than just a nice cut? Good conversation, good vibe, good music. Come see me at 3512 Cleveland Avenue.
The African Heritage Diet consists of 6 lessons. Lessons where we reach back to our African heritage to find culturally appropriate health and wellness practices that help us to move forward as a people that are whole in mind, body, and spirit. Lesson 1 is herbs and spices. Lesson 2 are greens. Greens is the widest part in the base of the African Heritage Diet food pyramid. So many greens should be consumed. And as you move up the pyramid, those are the things that you consume in lesser proportionate amounts. Whole grains, lesson 3. Beans and rice, lesson 4. Tubers and mashes, lesson 5. Lesson 6. Fruits, vegetables, and a healthy lifestyle.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius.
Women, but the most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is